determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Apex Racing TV for the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series presented by TD's Tree Service. We're down on the Interlagos circuit. We're just about ready for the start of tonight's race. 1 hour long. And I'm Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Adam, well, if you can briefly tell us who's at the front of the field.
Yeah, that's only for your starting grid then for this 10th race of the season here at Interlagos. Starting on the pole position is Mike Dam, second Pasquale Iannucci, third Kevin Ford, fourth Stephen Thomas, fifth Scott Kennedy, sixth Russell Ruddock, seventh Brandon Whitworth, eighth TD Travis Davis, ninth Matthew Katila, and 10th Russell Ruddock. Running through the top 10 in the Mazdas as well. We've got on the pole position there Aero Nom in making a debut, or at least a return for a while in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. On the pole position there, second Rob Hartley, third Brian Holmes, fourth John Allen, fifth Tom Rathjay, sixth Travis Schwenke, seventh Ryan Walker, eighth Joe Boyd, ninth David Payton, and running out the top 10 it is Richard Losper.
It is. Alex, quick word from yourself as the pace car comes around Yun Xiao, then 1 hour long. What are you expecting?
Be a good race for sure. Lots of slipstreaming obviously on this, you know, the first sort of and last sector. So it's going to be very difficult, but it is a bit of a driver's track, I feel. So, you know, people will be managing tyres through the infield section, just trying to stay neat and tidy and not lose any sort of time to the car ahead through there. So, yeah, it could be an interesting race. It's a bit of a tactical. I think it'll be fairly good on the tyres, so I don't see people requiring tyres through the pit stop. So it's all going to be about getting the strategies right here.
Yeah, then pace car pulls in. In a second now, Mike Dam going to bring us to the green. The green flag flew. He's a little slow getting away, Dam. That may cost him, but I think Iannucci is going to have to go the long way round into the centre S as if he's going to make any sort of progress, trying to take the lead away from Mike Dam. Dam's going to... Oh, he gives him too much room, I think, there. Should have cut down on him on turn 2. Gave Iannucci a chance. I think he's just about clear, though. Mike Dam into the lead from pole. And just challenging into this Cedar del Lago then is Iannucci, but I think we're going to see the fuel saving come into play already. And the Mazdas are away, Adam.
Yeah, good start from Aero Nom. He has the lead into the first corner, the centre S. Rob Hartley slotting into second position, wheel to wheel in the background between Tom Rathjay and Joe Boyd, as one of the cars, car 97, Ryan Walker, gets all over the curbs and could have 3 wide in that Mazda class as we go on to the Retta Reposta. Oh,
that was David Payton nearly turning Ryan Walker around there. Gottsman on the inside. It's late for him as well. Oh, under braking. Good move there. Richard Losper started 10th in the category, 23rd overall. Making his way forward. Let's check in again with the Fords. It's Dam from Iannucci, from Ford, Thomas and Kennedy. That's the top 5. And Just behind Kennedy is Davis. So good start by Davis. He started in 8th place, made the most of the rolling start, moving up through the field. That's a good, yeah, very good opening lap for Travis Davis. It's normally a short circuit here at Interlagos, Alex, but these cars not being the quickest, we've got spa level lap times here for them around here.
Yeah, crazy, really, isn't it? So, but yeah, it makes it a bit more interesting for those guys.
Well, we've established the Mustang doesn't like corners very much. That's probably why it's so the times are so slow compared to some of the other cars that we see out here. But one thing's for sure is the racing is going to be fantastic. It doesn't matter how fast you go around the track when competition is so good, and we always see that here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, one of the best leagues there is on the iRacing service.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with that one. And I have to say, if it wasn't for the two massive long straights here as well, I think the MX-5s would be as quick as the Mustangs here in this infield section. When it comes round for them to lap them, it's going to be quite difficult for them to get through there.
Yeah, I think they'll almost certainly be quicker, mate. And it's the run out of Yunshao, isn't it, to the centre S's? That's basically a third of the circuit right there in just that one acceleration section. And then you've got the long Retta Raposta and even the run up to Ferradura, Adam. There's a lot of acceleration zones here, but then you get into the tight and twisty stuff. The MX-5 is agile, it's responsive, and it's very fun to drive.
I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw at Circuit of the Americas a few seasons ago. That final sector at Circuit of the Americas is almost pretty similar to the infield section that we've got here at Interlagos. So it's really going to be interesting to see the gaps that are made between the Mustangs and the Mazdas, because you've got these long straights, and well, yeah, we'll see what they can do.
We saw it at Pocono as well, didn't we? When they had to tackle the international course there and the road course with that twisty infield section, the Mustangs had the advantage on the long straights, and then in the S's it was always the Mazda. So, and speaking of the Mazdas, as we expect them to be very, very close together, what a great qualifying by Aero Nom, in that he, Adam, was a quarter of a second ahead of Rob Hartley, and Rob Hartley is no slouch whatsoever. So, yeah, coming into the series with a bang is Aero Nom.
Yeah, Aero Nom coming into the series to make a massive impact, and Rob Hartley has 4 wins to his name this season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It's been him and Travis Schwenke all the way this season, and yeah, Aero Nom coming in straight away. Wonder if he's pretty experienced in the car, because it's a good job at the moment. But look at the battle pack that he's in at the moment. He's got Hartley, he's got Holmes, he's got Allen, Schwenke, and Rafjay, all separated by just over a second. And look at the amount of track that they're using going into that first corner.
Yeah, we know, however, that they won't be trying to overtake, really, though, will they? We've seen this season, the unfortunate thing with the MX-5, Alex, is that the overtaking is never really there, because the fuel strategy trumps everything, really.
Yeah, that's really what they're looking to do, isn't it? In the first stint, is try to eke it out as much as possible, and that's Nom, perhaps new to the series. He's feeling quite comfortable at the moment up front, but yeah, the guys are just using him for that draft at the moment. So we'll wait and see.
We've hardly seen at all this season, have we, Alex? The driver who's been leading most of the first stint taking the win in the end.
No, it's not worked out like that. Unless there's been some way for him to break away. It usually happens that he'll lose the position in the pits and drop back a few places. But they're there. I mean,
it takes so long to fill this car up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Every little, milliliter of fuel makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I think we've seen Hartley do really well from the front. He has led, and so has Brian Holmes in times as well. But yeah, I'm not actually sure if we've seen anyone win that. So
watch out for Travis Schwenke, though, Alex. He's always the one. He's always the one who comes second half of the race. Is always up there.
5th place, just minding his own business at the moment. Someone extremely wide there. Who was that? That was John Allen. So Allen, another one that takes the pit strategy to the absolute limits as well.
He usually goes in early, doesn't he? Sorry.
Some background information on Aero Nom. I've just checked our stat pack for the day. He's a substitute driver for Edgar Sancinelli. And what an impact he's making. He's going to be in the car for the next 2 races.
Well, with all due respect to Edgar Sancinelli, he never did this, did he? So Aero Nom absolutely eating up the competition at the moment. And, well, yeah, Sancinelli, he's done a bit of a blinder there, I think. Remains to be seen though whether he can win the race or not. But at the
Anyway.
moment, he's a bit like the sacrificial lamb at the front of a cycling race, isn't he? He's taking all the wind. He's taking all the. He's giving all the effort, pulling these guys along with him at the rate of 1 second a lap on this Interlagos circuit.
Almost like Michael Schumacher taking the spot of Bertrand Gachot. I'm not saying that Edgar Sancinelli is a CS gas wielding man, but Renault doing a fantastic job filling in for the next 2 weeks. We'll see if he's able to continue.
Yeah, we have to clarify. Sancinelli isn't here because he's in jail. We're not. No, we're not suggesting anything like that. However, it might be a bit of a daylight robbery if Renault can win this race, because that'd be a great result for the driver of car number 57.
Great start in the Mustangs. The battle for first, according to our upcoming graphics, covers the top 5. That is Mike Dam, Iannucci, Ford, Thomas and Kennedy, and they're separated by just 2.5 seconds.
I think, unfortunately, boys, we're seeing it's fantastically close. But I think, unfortunately, we're seeing the same issue as we are in the MX-5s. We do have a battle going on though, and that is number
Ruddock?
94. That's Michael Ruddock going through on 49 Scott Brooks, and he's just taken the former Open class winner Brandon Whitworth. So yeah, good move there by Michael Ruddock. That's what it could even be Whitworth having a go at Ruddock, actually, because Ruddock was in front of Whitworth coming over the timing line.
Yeah, Brandon Whitworth sat in 11th place. It hasn't been the best start to the race for him. He's lost 4 positions. Car 42, the mid-southerner. Yeah, trying to get those positions back as Rob Hartley is trying to take the lead away from Aeronom.
Oh, right, let's see. Yes, and into the lead goes Rob Hartley, and he might have had enough of being in second place. Yeah, through goes the American.
Carolina Rob Hartley. Aeronom from Central Eastern Europe. That's very late in the evening for him.
Oh, Carolina.
And something going on with Tom there for a second.
Tom Ratchie?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
He's left the session. Why is that? Oh, he's had a crash at the end of the Retta Reposta, that's why. Oh, and he's been rear-ended by number 4, Joe Boyd.
Joe Boyd.
He was rear-ended into the braking area. In fairness, I'm just going to check exactly what happened. Oh yeah, Joe Boyd. Oh, missed his braking point. Rathje, who's had a good season so far, into the wall on the outside. It's not often I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit that particular wall, Alex. But yeah, that's a shame for Tom.
Let's see if I can get a replay up on screen of that happening.
Here comes Nom again. As you go to the replay, I'll take you through what's happening at the front of the field. There, Nom pulls out to the outside line. Rob Hartley late enough on the brakes. Nom using that very painted area on the outside, Adam. That was a very extreme line through turn 1, but not often you want to go out there really, though, because there'll be marbles out there later on in the race.
Marbles plus the curbs are incredibly difficult in cars like these. Incidents involving cars 41 and 4 is under investigation by the stewards. Good to have the stewards back.
I think that's a slam dunk, to be fair, is that one. As David Payton defending for all he's worth on the inside line going down the back straight. Into the Interlagos, and there's a Joe Boyd pulled out of the slipstream. Like he got a little bit out of control there. I don't know if he hit the grass slightly. But this is going to allow number 09, Geordie Fike, to have a look. Geordie Fike usually has a very long first stint. Tries to stay out as long as possible, but every position will be welcome. Going to move to the inside here into the Pinjarino. No, he's not.
Nice of you to mention the strategy, so I can run you through what we've been told going into this one. The Mustang will get about 20 to 21 laps on a tank of fuel, so we're expecting the race to go about 34 laps here today. The Mazda will get about 23 laps on a tank of fuel, so yeah.
It's crazy actually as well. I know that the rolling start obviously staggers the two classes, but the leader of the Mustangs, Mike Dam, is already 54 seconds ahead of the leading MX-5. They're already. Mike Dam is already in the infield section. He's already at Pinarino.
Mike Dam.
Rob Hartley just coming across the line. In fact, he's got a bit of a gap, Rob Hartley. So, will we see a rare occasion, Adam, of the last few races of someone being able to pull away in the MX-5 category? I don't even think. I can't remember the last race that we saw somebody actually go out front on their own.
Has to be one of the massive tracks where we haven't had any slipstream. Would be the last example. Joe Boyd, by the way, black flagged. He's into the penalty box. I don't know if we'll see him again. But yeah, Joe Boyd's receiving the black flag. He's off into the naughty boy zone.
I don't know if that's the I don't know if that's the ice hockey penalty box. With 2 minutes, I think he was 2 minutes for roughing that he's received on that one. But I think.
Penalty's car force.
Well, actually, he put him in the wall, didn't he? So it must be boarding, I think. So, but yeah, he's had. Oh, well, that's a confusing message we've got from race control. We've just had Joe Boyd was black flagged, and then we've just had Joe Boyd had black flags cleared.
I think, yeah.
So we'll see what comes of that, I think.
They just came over the team speak just to say that he had served his penalty and now he's on his way again. So it looks like they hold you and then they let you go.
20 seconds in the pits as well, so straightforward stop there.
Has he served his penalty?
They said it on the whisper.
He's not coming to the pits yet,
has he? Yeah, 20 seconds stationary in the pit.
It is quite amazing though, isn't it? You are right, Woody, that he's still ahead of two of the cars, and that's Mike Taylor and Mike Key, despite
he can't have been in the pits for 20 seconds. The leaders are at Young Shao.
Oh, maybe not then. It's weird.
The leaders have just come onto the back straight, and Joe Boyd, he was 11 seconds behind, and he's about 11 seconds behind now, so he's not been in the pits. There's no way.
He's been in the pit lane for 20 seconds, so was it just a pass through?
It doesn't look like. Yeah, but it wouldn't be that close by. Let's have a look. Let's see what the gap is. It could have been it could have been a pass through. Let's have a look. 104.4. Rob Hartley's behind the leaders, and Joe Boyd's. He's lost. He has lost time on this lap. It must have just been a drive through. There's no way he's been actually stationary in the box. 25. No, he's only lost about 10 seconds there, so that would indicate a drive-through penalty. Yeah, boys, sorry.
Right.
It just didn't seem like he was that far behind to have been in the pits.
Great battle for the lead overall. Here comes Pasquale Iannucci for the lead. And trying to take it away from Mike Dam, who gives him acres of space on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. And Iannucci going through. And also going through is Kevin Ford, and that's a good opportunistic manoeuvre there. And that does. Kevin Ford's on the grass. He's nearly lost the car, but Mike Dam, he's dropping even further behind and just tucking in behind Kevin Ford. Is he going to try and get his second place back into Desida do Lago? No, he doesn't. Now, does that tell you, Alex, that maybe feels that he needs to save some fuel and he wasn't going to do that in the lead?
No, I don't think so. Mike seems to be a very cool and calm character. He sees these things happen and make sure he's not involved in something. He'll know that he can, fight back towards the end of this race. He always seems to have that ability, and he always seems to have all the information at his fingertips as well, as far as the right strategies and things like that go. So, yeah, I think at this point. Iannucci's just has made that move, and Kevin's got the opportunity to pass there. Great move from Kevin, I have to say, and great move for the lead. But let's not rule Dam out yet, that's for sure.
Excellent move by Ford. But we've seen in previous races this season, Adam, that Iannucci and Ford, they've been the kings of the quick start, haven't they? But they've won many battles, haven't won many wars.
No, Mike Dam has won the last 3 of them. He's going for, I think the bowling term is the sombrero here today at Interlagos. 4 strikes in a row, and he'll be keeping them close to him, I reckon. The gap isn't too much as they come across the line, just about 1.6 seconds separating the top 3. And Dam's strategy usually is king.
Now, I have to confess, I've not heard of the sombrero in bowling terms. But it does mean 4 because I know that a golden sombrero in baseball is when you strike out 4 times in a row. Pretty embarrassing. And that's what, to be fair, Kevin Ford and Pasquale Iannucci will be doing if they don't manage to beat Mike Dam tonight. They'll be striking out 4 times in a row as well.
Well, they're going for the gutter ball.
Well, it might be a gutter ball. Depends if there's any crashes. Depends where they end up, doesn't it? Really. Interlagos, of course, has held the Brazilian Grand Prix in various guises. It used to be a much longer circuit than this, of course. Alex, used to be a much larger sort of outfield section, essentially, which made the track almost twice as long.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see some of the old maps and you see that old track. I don't ever remember it being like that, so must have been before my time as well.
I will have a look. I'm pretty sure it was before.
Last race was about early 80s. Its last F1 race in its previous guise back here in 1990.
Crazy old layout though that it used to have. It's pretty. I've driven it on certain sims, and it's pretty much the same track. But you're going round it and you have no idea where you are. It's the strangest thing, because looking at an aerial shot now, they built a lot of housing and things around, where that old part of the track used to be. But I think this is a great compromise that they've made in shortening the track, Alex, making it safer, and it's great for racing. I wish more circuits were made in this way, where it's a bit more fast flowing and one corner sort of leading. You've got a technical section, you've got long straights. It's fun, isn't it?
Sorry, just a little distracted there with the live timing, Andrew. But yeah, no, I mean, this track is just fantastic for everything. It's a bit of an engineer's nightmare, really, when it comes to set the cars up as well, because you've got those massive long straightaway sections where you need the car really trimmed out. But of course you've got all those hairpin infields as well, so you need supreme grip, for in low speed as well. So they really did. They really did sort of hit the ball out of the park when they sort of designed this track. I think because there's cambered corners in there, there's a bit of everything really, and it makes for such good racing as well. How many times have we seen on broadcast that we've done where we've seen side by side for the best part of 3/4 of a lap? You don't really get that many places other than Interlagos.
Brian Holmes into the lead. I wonder if we might be seeing a repeat of the strategy we saw quite recently, Adam, where Holmes and Hartley are exchanging positions to try and break away at the front.
He'll be going to the forefront, in the early going here. We've only just got 20 minutes done in this one. We're expecting the Mazdas into the pits around 36 to 43 minutes into this one, so we've still got plenty of time before they even have to worry at all about pit stops. But yeah, you're right, Brian Holmes hitting the front, UK and Ireland driver, racing in the middle of the night, but isn't slowing him down at all, and him and Rob Hartley know each other well, and Brian Holmes has been applying his trade well to the Kia in recent weeks too. Doing
all sorts, hasn't he, Holmes? And doing a good job in every car he seems to race in. This is Ferradura, the long right-hander at the top of the hill. And going back to just the track, Alex, and how it provides the racing. I think a lot of people think that these days, because people have a go at Herman Tilke somewhat, slightly unfairly, I think, because I think he's created some great circuits, Sepang, and I think for racing, Sepang, Bahrain, Turkey, and quite a few others as well that that don't immediately spring to mind, but. Something to be said for old school circuit design, where it just seems like the cars can follow a lot closer, just because of the types of corners that they've got to face. There's a lot of medium, slowish to medium speed corners where a car isn't going to be affected too much by the dirty air, but it does allow a better car or a better driver to get closer. Yeah, and this long straight here, like Yung Shao, is perfect for this.
I think you're right, exactly that. Those sort of slow little third gear, second gear corners, the dirty air really doesn't come into play quite so much. So, and they have those leading up to, where there's an overtaking zone. So it makes a big difference. You know, they really slow the pack down, don't they, through there before that lead up to the straight. So I think they could take they talk about obviously redesigning some circuits to try and aid overtaking, and they need to go back and look at some of the classics. I think they don't seem to have those same problems that they have.
There's something to be said for some more flowing corners, isn't there? I think, and it really does. It really does help. Sorry, Adam.
Into the pit lane comes Pasquale Iannucci, the race leader, very early on. Looks like he's getting the tyres changed as well.
Right side only? Is that right side only?
Yes.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah,
he's away, yeah.
God, it took a long time to allow him to release him though, didn't it? But,
that's the fuel.
Maybe
getting
the fuel
there.
was still fuel. Yeah.
Because we're only 22 minutes into this one.
But he still emerges in a fairly ahead of Michael Monaghan, so actually he's timed that fairly well. If he can stay ahead of car 69, then he's got a bit of a gap to work with in terms of the other Mustangs as well. 8 seconds to Scott Brooks in 12th place. Going for the undercut then, Iannucci. He obviously feels like he's got some speed in that car. He wants to utilise it now, and well, this could be his best possible chance to win the race. But remember, Adam, that we've seen this before, as we said. Well, Iannucci is a very fast driver. He's a very good driver. And he needs to do something different if he wants to beat Mike, because what he was doing the last few races hasn't really been working.
The Mustang pit stop strategy always seems to throw a few surprises, as it did in the World GT Series earlier today. Sorry,
Adam, purple sector as well for Iannucci, so it's looking good. It's not got any traffic, which is always important. And Dam has jumped into the pits as well. So the guys got caught up a little bit on that lap with some lap traffic. So this might be a really good call from Iannucci. You're going to see where he is and where he comes out in comparison to Dam.
You are
since
right.
He's got the new tyres on, I mean, Dam is still in the pit box.
It is a pretty small amount of time you're in the pit lane here compared to the times we were seeing earlier on at the Glen in the GT3 cars.
Mike Dam's still in his box, still there. Iannucci's already through turn 1.
Dam's getting left side tyres as well.
So 4 tyres for Mike Dam.
He has to miss the commitment cone, he's got no choice. That end box. But that is a big lead for Pasquale Iannucci.
Yeah, 9 seconds.
We saw earlier on, didn't we, boys, how the tyre strategy played out in the World GT Championship race. It was a 1.5 hour race there. And Chris Wood, we thought he'd done a master stroke coming out in front after not changing his tyres at his single pit stop. And however, he was so slow on the way out. I don't think the Mustang is quite having that sort of trouble with its tyres, but it'd be interesting to see. It's a powerful car, Alex, and it can spin the rear wheels up quite a lot at times.
Yeah, he has taken 2, so I mean that's going to be a little bit of a help to him. So we'll have to see.
Well, there's a lot of left-handers here, isn't there? Being an anti-clockwise circuit, I suppose.
Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
It will help him.
Yeah, I mean pit lane time, just to compare the two, 39.93 for Pat and 47.55. So you can see the time lost, just close to 8 seconds really.
Kevin Ford is now just coming onto the rest of Aposta. The lead group of Mazdas is just on its way towards Ferradura, so he's going to be on them within a lap or so. So I reckon he'll probably come into the pits at the end of this one. I'll be happily proved wrong, but I think Kevin Ford doesn't want to lose any time. He might be coming in at the end of this.
Be interesting to see what the Mazdas do, whether they'll try and stay out and let him catch them up a little bit, after he's pitted, and so that they can not have to deal with him coming through them.
Current order then on lap 14 of the race, 26 minutes gone already. Where is this race going? Kevin Ford leads by 4 seconds, Stephen Thomas second, then it's TD Travis Davis in third, Scott Kennedy fourth, and Russell Ruddock in fifth. And then over in the Mazdas, starting to spread out a little bit. Brian Holmes leading Rob Hartley by 8 tenths. and Aero Nom in third, fourth Travis Schwenke, and fifth John Allen.
Very tightly packed as usual, isn't it? And with these guys, Adam, I think it's going to be who's going to blink first, really, because the slipstream is so prevalent here that yes, you could come in and you could potentially get, oh, here comes John Allen. Well, that's not a surprise that he's going to be the first one that comes into the pit lane. So, is he sacrificing himself, or is he pulling a masterstroke? We don't know.
Well, Kevin Ford stayed out again. Stephen Thomas is into the pit lane, so from second place. So is TD Travis Davis. So two more Mustangs coming in, as well as Russell Ruddock, Katila, all coming in as well. Maybe even Leon Wright. No, Wright stays out. But yeah, another 4 Mustangs coming into the pits.
Hands away.
Pit lane time are we looking at for John then?
John Allen's pit lane time was 42 seconds.
Well, that seems.
Well, there has been some MX-5s already in, and they've all been around the 40s, the 40 sort of 44. So bang in the middle for Allen there.
Coming in a little later then, but he always seems to be one of the first front runners to pit, doesn't he? Does John? So. Yeah, it's not too bad, I don't think, for him. Joe Boyd and Chris Torman having a battle over 20th and 21st place. Joe Boyd was having a little look up the inside.
It's the 6th place in class, Chris Torman.
Boyd's already been in bother with the stewards today. And probably rightly so as well, considering that he was he did punt Rathje into the wall. He may be getting the wrath of Rathje and the stewards meeting later on, I don't know.
Into the pit lane does come Kevin Ford. So now all eyes will be on the cars that have pitted, and the first of which will be, of course, Pasquale Iannucci, who is just coming out of Junção now, so we'll wait and see. With the help of Alex, possibly he's got the predictive positions on, but whereabouts is Iannucci? Is he going to get this lead?
Yeah, I actually haven't got them on, no, so I can't tell you exactly, but to say it's looking quite likely, isn't it, right now, as he's coming down the main straight, and Kevin Ford is still stationary. Left side, is that going to come up? Doesn't look like it, so just 2 tyres for... No, left side goes up as well.
4 tyres for Kevin Ford, so Pasquale
where is Dam?
Going in
Dam
low.
is coming through into turn 1 as well, and he's away, so it's a bit shorter coming out through the pit lane, but not up to speed. Dam quite, I wouldn't say clearly through, going to be very, very close, but Dam has just got himself back into what will be next second place, although he's having to work for it right now. Who's that? That's Monaghan that he's side by side with.
Michael Monaghan currently sitting in 5th position, yet to make a pit stop in this one. One of the few in the Mustangs that's yet to make a pit stop. There's only 3, including him, yet to make a trip to the pit box, as we are now officially, Andrew, halfway through the race.
Yeah, still a sizable gap then for Iannucci. And Kevin Ford then, how long can he stay behind Mike Dam? How long is he just going to be staying with him? Because he looks like he's pushing very, very hard indeed. As yeah, we're going to need to go for a commercial break any second now. So I think we're going to do that, and we're going to see what the guys at Ricmotech have on offer. Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Racing World Championship driver Alex Simpson with you. And we're at the Interlagos circuit in Brazil, and we've got some fine action out there on the circuit at the moment. And both classes looking good at this stage of the race. We've had just over half an hour, and it's at the moment Scott Kennedy leading the way in the Ford Mustangs and Aero Nom in the MX-5s. Both have yet to stop for fuel or tyres.
Holmes and Hartley follow each other out the way. They went into the pit lane with Holmes out in front of Hartley, and they just emerged from the pit lane after making their pit stop.
Yeah, they're slightly further apart now, but not by an awful lot. They were literally nose to tail as they came in. We just about saw that as we were coming out of the advert break.
In terms of the Mustangs, Scott Kennedy leads the way. Him and Michael Monaghan are the only two Mustangs yet to make a pit stop. In terms of the overall lead battle, Pasquale Iannucci leads Mike Dam by 7 seconds. Iannucci, despite the fact that he only took 2 tyres in his pit stop, has been doing okay so far. However, Mike Dam was 0.8 of a second quicker on their last tour of the circuit. So I wonder if this second half of the race could be all about Mike Dam closing in on Pasquale Iannucci here to get that 4 wins in a row.
Who's going to stop him? That's the question. It's looking very difficult at the moment, but still, Iannucci with a 7.6 second lead with just 20 minutes to go. I mean, if anybody can do it, it'll be him. I can't see that kind of pace coming from car 93. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, what were we talking last lap? 46.8 for Dam. So, I mean, that's quick. So Dam's always very conservative through the traffic. It might cost him a little bit today, but yeah, let's see. 7 seconds is a lot to make up, isn't it?
47.5 for Iannucci, 47.4 this time, and Dam 47.1, so only 0.3 of a second quicker.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, Alex, but I don't think 0.3 of a second is going to do anything.
No, not at all. So like I say, he's got to get through this traffic a little bit quicker.
He's overly conservative, I think, because look at Kevin Ford. Ford is right there, and he's not overly conservative with the traffic. That was Kevin Ford. I'd go right out to the left there.
Oh. That was begging for a Hakkinen Schumacher moment, wasn't it? It really was.
And today's Ricardo Zonta would have been Joe Boyd, but I wonder if, but yeah, Boyd wouldn't have wanted any part of that, I don't think.
Now these two have been the stars of the show this season. In fact, apart from Scott Kennedy, it's been Kevin Ford and Mike Dam that have been winning all the races in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. And here they are locked in battle again as they negotiate their way through the traffic. Looking at the track
Kennedy
map,
won the season opener, didn't he?
Yes, Scott Kennedy won the season opener at Daytona. Just looking at the track map, after they've only got one more bit of traffic, and I think actually, yeah, in fact they're in the clear now. The next car up the road is Pasquale Iannucci, but he's just got someone in front of him. That's 16th place. That is Ryan Walker.
Sorry, Adam Kennedy into the pits. So that's gives up the lead. But also Travis Svenke as well from P2 in the MX-5. So, yeah, some of our leaders deciding now's the time to jump in.
Aero Nom and Joe Boyne. I'm just seeing who the other Mazdas are that haven't pitted yet. Nom and Chris Torman.
Walker as well. He hasn't pitted yet.
But yeah, Ryan Walker not pitted either. So, yeah, 3 drivers there in the Mazdas are yet to make their one and only visit to the pits. They look like they're following to the script that we were sent earlier, where we expected the Mazdas to come in with about 20 minutes to go.
I imagine if everyone is in Central Eastern Europe, if he actually lives there, that's could be extremely late.
5 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
It could even be, an early one for him actually. So, I mean, Alex, what would you prefer if you had the choice? Would you prefer a late night race or an early morning race?
Yeah, I think a late
I
night
don't know if
race.
you've ever been asked to do a race at 4 in the morning, have you?
Apart
Yeah,
from
I
our Le
think
Mans 24-hour stint, yeah.
I think a late
Oh,
night
yeah,
race.
right,
I
of
mean,
course.
there was the time when I did the whole IndyCar Oval official series, wasn't there? And that was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I think I managed that. That was okay. But I don't think I could get up at 6 o'clock to do a race. No way. I love my bed too much for that.
I remember when we were doing that Le Mans 24-hour race, I think I was the one that was doing that 6 a.m. stint. Let's just be said that once the race finished at 2 a.m, I was officially done for the day, I think.
2 p.m.
Yeah, when the race finished at 2 p.m. on that Sunday, yeah, I was done. Well, speaking of done,
It was a tough one, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a really tough one. Yeah, Aeronom in from the lead in the Mazda MX-5. He's been impressing so far, filling in for Edgar Sancinelli. Can this pit stop result in him being propelled to the top of the order?
Walker in as well.
Well, be. By the way, boys, I thought we were doing the Le Mans 24 hours properly, doing it as a 3-piece, but it seemed like some people had about 7 drivers doing it.
Well, yeah.
Pansies. Oh, you? Honestly.
What are we doing here?
It was good fun, I think. Doing it as a trio, that's for sure.
Now, Holmes, Schwenke, Hartley coming round curve to stop, and Aeronom is just coming out of the pit lane. So he almost committed a white line infraction there, which wouldn't have ingratiated himself too much with the stewards, I don't think.
I remember Ralf Schumacher doing that in 2001. That's the first time I remember anyone ever doing it. But
I
yeah,
think that's what they like. I think at one bit they did. I'll get my words out eventually. Sorry about it. I think at one point the white line rule didn't exist because the white lines didn't exist. I think it was yellow lines, wasn't it? And they used to come out pretty much wherever they could. The pit lane exit here used to be
exit
at
to
the very
Center
exit of turn 1. Yeah, so. It was, I think 2001 was the first year they moved it to the, or maybe 99.
Yeah, 99.
That was the first year they moved it behind the wall.
I think they brought in that white line rule after. I think. Do you remember Canada '98 where Schumacher and Frentzen? Schumacher came out the pits in Montreal, and the pit lane exit there was just before turn 1, and he literally merged straight into the path of Frentzen, who went off and straight off into the wall.
Oh yeah. Brian Holmes very wide coming out of the shaft. I know the Mazda likes to go grass trekking, Adam, but that was taken to the extreme. Look at this gaggle of Mustangs that's coming through as well. It's going to probably get them by the end of this straight.
Yeah, just having a look at those Mustangs. This is the likes of Katila and Russell Ruddock and Travis Davis as well, who's just in front of all those Mazdas. Ruddock trying to find his way through.
Really got to negotiate this well, and somebody's outbraked himself. Who was that? That was Leon Wright, who was having a hell of a time getting the car slowed down, but did a good job in the end. And Hartley going past Holmes, it looks like on the inside.
Comes Damon versus Ford as well.
Oh, sorry, that's Schwenke, sorry. Schwenke, he's just gone past, Hartley, sorry.
Mustang's having a great battle through through the traffic here as well. The leaders having to deal with that, and right now it's the last thing they want because Nom, with his great pit stop, very short in the box, 36.35 is the pit lane time for him against 41, 42 for everybody else. So he's got quite a comfortable gap up front, and now these guys are all being held up by the Mustangs coming through as well. Of course, he'll get that pain in a moment, but right now it's letting him scamper away just a little bit more.
He's bringing that qualifying pace into play, isn't he? The outstanding job that he did there in the session to set the grid. He was a quarter of a second quicker, Adam, than all the established members of the series.
Did a really good job, car 57 Aeronom. Battle for second place overall is still heating up as well between Mike Dam and Kevin Ford. They had a fantastic last lap fighting there. The gap between them and Pasquale Iannucci still remains about 5.1 seconds. They are lapping quicker though than Pasquale Iannucci, but unfortunately for them, the rate they're doing it is probably not going to be enough to get there in time. The gap is now just under 5 seconds with 18 minutes to go here.
Just having a quick look at Aeronomos, having a little bit of a nosy. Does have 6,500 I rating. So yeah, that's very impressive. And in official series, 128 wins from just 317.
Were they all
races.
in the Mazdas?
No. I can tell you that. No, Mustang, Ferrari, Daytona Prototype, 3s, pretty much anything really. That is a very, very accomplished iRacing driver. In the middle of a hornet's nest now, though. Look at that. Who's that flicking out from behind him? Matthew Catila going on the grass to try and get through.
And this could be what costs him the race here, because Aeronom has a 5-second advantage at the moment, similar to Pasquale Iannucci over Brian Holmes in second place. He was 3 seconds quicker though than Brian Holmes on that last lap, as Alex was saying. Now Nom's got to deal with that Mustang pack that are swarming around him at the moment.
Well, if any of those guys are going to catch Aeronom, which as the laps go by obviously is getting more and more unlikely, they're going to have to make sure they don't lose time battling each other, Alex, because that is the main problem that they could face here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, what
not
the
a
lap
bad
times
lap.
looking like?
Yeah, we'll just take a quick look as they come across start-finish line, but that actually wasn't too bad lap for Nom as far as the traffic goes. He seemed to get through quite easily in this, like here, he's not lost any time at all down the straight. In fact, he's actually going to gain time because he tucks into the slipstream, so group behind going to have their work cut out to catch him.
See what he gets this time then. 52.9 for Nom, 51.8 for Brian Holmes, and he's just been overtaken by Rob Hartley. 51.7 for him.
Yeah,
Nom did get delayed, but well, he'll be hoping that doesn't happen too much more.
Well, what goes around comes around, and that pretty much equaled itself out then with those 2 lap times there. But yeah, this 4-car scrap over second place in class, really heating up now.
As it always seems to do in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. And yeah, we're going to go for another break, I think, shortly. Alex, is that okay? Is that right?
Yeah,
one more break to take.
Yeah, lead us in.
Let's do it now, and let's get this through, and then we'll be back for the last 10 minutes of the race.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to Interlagos, Apex Racing TV and the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson, Adam Bath, bringing you the action from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo. And we've got a brilliant race on our hands here. Yet again, we've got Pasquale Iannucci out front. It's been caught by Mike Dam and Kevin Ford in the Ford Mustang category. Just 4 seconds now is the gap. And Aero Nom, who I think it's his first ever race in the series, certainly since we've been covering it, he's out in front by about the same amount of time over Rob Hartley, Brian Holmes and Travis Fenke. And Alex, well, we were on about Aero Nom and the fact that he's a very accomplished iRacing driver, and then we looked at Rob Hartley's stats.
Yeah, he's kept that little bit of information quiet from us, with his 8,200 iRating that he has.
Dear me.
Yeah, well, surprised he's been winning some races. None too shabby, sir. None too shabby indeed.
He could never qualify for a race and start out halfway up every time.
Yeah,
where is he in the road to the Pro Road Series? Come on, let's have you in that car.
Well, if he was in a BSRTC Pro Series race and he had a back of the grid penalty, he'd be starting in the midfield.
That says something about that series. And his iRating.
Funny a place start for him. Yeah.
Oh damn! It's so much under pressure from Ford right now. Ford.
Don't think it's the right idea for Kevin. Not sure it's the right idea. This Dam just blinks a little bit. Ford's through, and you know what? This is about the time for him to show that he's got the pace to catch Pasquale Iannucci.
Well, yeah, last time around, 47.9 for Pasquale Iannucci, 47.2 for Kevin Ford. The gap is slowly coming down. It's down to 3.7 seconds. Unfortunately, time is against them. We've got 10 minutes to go, just about, and yeah, the gap is not coming down at such a massive rate. So Kevin Ford's going to have to step on it.
That's about 6 laps, Adam, maybe 7.
Yeah, it's just it's a 107-second lap. So. No, we haven't got too long left.
Not as many as that, no. So
we have 5 laps.
It's going to be interesting. He does look quick, Kevin Ford. How quick is he, Alex? Has he got that maybe half a second in hand that he's going to need? He's going to catch and pass Pasquale Iannucci, because Iannucci looks like he's pretty comfortable at the front.
Yeah, he does. I mean, with the worn-out tyres, or just the 2 tyres that he's used, the lap been fairly consistent. That one a little bit slower than he has been, which has allowed them to get, a big chunk of time. That's basically what he needs to try and avoid, is those mistakes where he's going to lose a half a second on those guys. So keep it to a minimum. I think he couldn't hold on to this one.
That currently stands at 3.4 seconds as they come down the front straight now to start lap 28 of the race. So we'll see what lap times they do, just to see what's happened since Kevin Ford made that overtake for second place. Iannucci comes across the line now to say 47.588. Kevin Ford comes over the line to the 47.4. So even with that overtake on Mike Dam, he was 1/10 of a second quicker than Iannucci. This lap could be telling of whether Kevin Ford has got it in him to get to the front and try and win this one.
Don't think Hartley's got it in him to catch up as well. These guys are just battling a little bit too much. And last time by 51.4 against 51.5. So let's see what they do when they come across. And actually, if we jump on board, we'll see Holmes has just got the run on Hartley as well. So let's see. Gap is under 5 seconds across the start-finish line. It's 51.9 for Nom, and it's 51.4 for Holmes. So half a second there.
Going to be tough. I mean, the only chance they've really got. Sorry, mate. The only chance they've really got is half a second a lap, and then pick up the slipstream.
That's going to be key, I think. So,
but again, are they going to get that in time? I don't know, because it's about 6 seconds. Sorry, 6 seconds, about 6 minutes. Maybe a little bit more than that, is it to go?
Yeah, there's 8 minutes to go, so...
so we've got a few, looks like it's about 6 more laps, maybe 5 or 6 more laps.
Don't want any traffic, really. There's not... A single car's not a problem, I think, but... Are there any gaggles coming up? No, I can't see any in the background, so I think they could be okay on that front, so...
The only gaggle, I think, is the one they're in.
Yeah, there's one on the Retro Aposta as well, but that's only got 3 cars in it. And that's a Mazda gaggle as well. That's Peyton, Losber and Fike. So yeah, not too many massive packs now as we enter the closing stages of this one. You maybe can't rule out John Allen from getting involved in this scrap as the Mustangs start to force this Mazda gaggle to spread apart a little bit now, because look at the gap that Brian Holmes has got.
Yeah, but
1 second advantage.
But at the very front of the race, it's gone down to 2.8 seconds.
Well, it's going to be close, isn't it?
And Ford, this is going to be very, very close indeed.
Whoa,
1 minute.
Sorry, Holmes, extremely wide on the final corner. Manages to hold onto it.
I look away for 1 second and that happens. Brian Holmes now could be about to face pressure again as they come across the line. You can see John Allen's really harassing the back of Travis Schwenke too.
Been a bit of a low-key race from Schwenke, Alex. He hasn't really imposed himself on it, unless this is actually as fast as he can go, and he's just hanging on by his fingernails.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like that. So pack is really, close on timers and all very, very quick as well. So yeah, Travis just not been able to move forward, and Holmes with that mistake on that final corner, he actually lost ground on that lap to Nom as well. So I think the battle's on for second place.
I wonder if we're going to get the leaders closing in on each other by the end of this one as well. I think they might be too far apart at the minute.
And a bit of mental arithmetic, and if Kevin Ford continues to lap 0.6 of a second quicker than Pasquale Iannucci, it'll take him about 5 laps to get there, but we've only got 6 minutes to go, so he's going to have to take a mistake. Another 4 tenths. He needs that to be more. I think he needs that to be more. He needs more than 0.6 of a second a lap. Kevin Ford, if he needs to get anywhere near him.
More so because of the Mustangs and the lack of the slipstream as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
you'll get some. It will help, and of course, as you start to hunt down, the pressure will build up on Iannucci. Be looking at that relative one, just thinking, come on, I got a few more laps to go. See those half a seconds keep coming down, and then it'll be just taking his eye off the ball and missing braking points here and there, and just not quite cooking it up as well as he could be. So, if I'm him, I turn that off right now and try my best.
You did hear 3 wide. Yeah, that was Brandon Whitworth, Matthew Catila and Leon Wright, who are all having a titanic duel over the battle for 8th place.
Have a look then. Oh wow, yeah. And going up into Ferradura, but Catila has managed to get to the front of this group. Very close though, isn't it? Whitworth, number 42, and Leon Wright, number 77. Wright was in 8th place a minute ago. He's now at the back of this group, so he's going to try and make some inroads into the Bico di Pato. Doing there, and he slides the car on the exit. Not going to help the tyres, although it does look cool.
Bico di Pato ducks beak, isn't it?
Yep.
And now into John Cow Junction, just after preceding that was Mergulio. Now we
I'm not sure what Mergulio means, to be honest, but
I'll have a quick translation for you. I'll take a second.
Kevin Ford with another 0.2 of a second out of the lead of Pat Iannucci, who gets a beautiful big old slipstream from the Mazda that's all too generous to give the slipstream whenever it wants.
Diving. Yes.
Oh, so yeah, well that makes sense.
He's been hit. And Catila's been sent off. Not with her red cars, but
for a
by
second yellow, I was going to say.
but being hit by one of the cars in front, by I think it was Leon Wright.
They're battling hard now down the back straight.
Thomas and Kennedy as well for 4th place. They could pick up the pieces if there's any action between the front 3 at the end.
And just
Kennedy's all over Stephen Thomas. Look at that.
And just as I was exclaiming at Catila getting hit off, Alex did say another 0.6 taken out of Pasquale Iannucci, gap down to 1.7 seconds now with 57 minutes complete.
Yeah, there's a lot of close battles going on out on the circuit at the moment. Let's see what this lap time is. He's visibly closer now, Alex. He really is.
Yeah, it is, and it's come down a lot in the MX-5s as well, down to 3.7 seconds. So that was 7/10 that lap as well. So they are starting to hunt him down now as well. So his battle's going everywhere. There's 2 minutes 12 seconds to go though.
What is it about this series that we'll get 3 laps to go? Based on that, they've just crossed the line, mate.
Half a second.
There will be 3 to go.
Yeah, half a second again for Ford on Iannucci, so 1.5 seconds, half a second, and he's going to get that slipstream. That's going to mean he's going to close up even more going into the final lap of the race. We could have a drag race to the start-finish line.
In fact, sorry, it's only going to be 2, isn't it? It's not going to be 3.
This lap and one more.
Yeah.
Just looking at the sector times, the individual sector times, and it looks like Pasquale Iannucci, even with these worn tyres, seems to master sector 1 better than Kevin Ford. He's been doing that the last few laps. Not this time though.
There's a lot of traffic for Nom. At the moment, it's Mike Key and Mike Taylor.
Oh yeah, he's having to get by these guys as we go down the front straight. Then, dying his penultimate lap now. He's having to get by some of his own cars in the Mazdas.
I think he's going to be okay in that sense of.
Yeah, you don't want a Jos Verstappen moment here, like one Pablo Montoya.
That was into the Interlagos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 2001.
Yeah.
0.6 seconds the gap, so 52.6 versus a 51.6, so 1 second taken out there.
Hey, look, the gap's down to 4 tenths.
Here we go. Then we're going to be
the 1 lap shootout at the end.
Starting the final lap.
Iannucci, what an amazing lap that's been.
Iannucci, Ford, Dan. Who's going to take the win? What's this going to do? Oh!
He's in the pits.
He's going to come into the pits. He's not had enough fuel in. Iannucci, that's why he was slow. He was trying to save the fuel. And it hasn't come to fruition for him.
Yeah, because the last time I looked, the gap was about 1.6 seconds, and it was nothing. So he did pit early, very early, Pasquale Iannucci, and it looks like the maths have failed him.
And he might drop down out of the top 6.
Down out of the top 6. Well, it's the last lap then. Clock has reached 0, and we're going to have a 2-car scrap for the win. It's now Kevin Ford versus Mike Dam, as it has been all year.
All over and over again. And, well, what an exciting finish we're going to get through Interlagos. They come and up towards Meradura.
Where are the MX-5s? Are we gonna? They're just coming around now as well. So they've got another lap. Yeah. Still. So
the lead is 46 points for Mike Dam at the moment. So he doesn't need to beat Kevin Ford here.
Yeah, apologies.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he wants
to. Nom's into the pits with 1 lap to go.
Nom.
He was very quick, wasn't he?
Look at this now, it's all breaking down, and I think there might have been some contact maybe between Allen and Hartley. Hartley's down to 4th place. And Mike Dam's disappeared, he's back. Here we go, out of Vuccio then, the final time.
God, it's so close.
Incident involving cars 37 and 42 will be investigated after the race, but it's about Mike Dam versus Kevin Ford now. What's going to happen? They're coming across the line. Dan pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to get the run. He's going to get the side draft towards the line. It's going to be so close. What's going to happen? It seems to happen every week in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. And this time, the spoils go to the way of Kevin Ford.
What a finish. 2 cars are stopped on the Retro Aposta. Don't know what's happened there. But what a finish that was in the Mustangs.
That'll be... I'm not sure what that is at all.
We're going to have the same for the...
Frankie having a look into Pinarino. And going around the outside, John Allen's having a look as well. Hartley's not out of this race. Yes, Frankie gets a poor exit. But at the same time, he gets a reasonable run on Brian Holmes. And he tries to make the run. This is where Interlagos just throws up absolutely brilliant racing. And through Mugulo. Yun Xiao coming. And out of the final corner then. It's Holmes, Allen, Svenke, Hartley. Who's going to take the win? Going through the big long left-hand kink, at least at the start-finish straight. Holmes has got a good advantage, but the slipstream is going to be really strong here, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough. Brian Holmes with a fantastic last lap. He's going to take the win ahead of John Allen in second place, Travis Svenke in third, and Rob Hartley in fourth position. Also an incident involving cars 61 and 98 is under review. That is Mike Taylor and Michael Key. That must have been the crash at the Red to the Poster. And 37 and 42 is Matthew Katila and Brandon Whitworth. So yeah, they've come to blows, Adam, as you said.
Yeah, I saw 2 car stops on the rest of the Poster, and John Allen just pipping Travis Svenke. Unfortunately, with the Mazdas, because they're a lap down on the overall leaders, we can't give you the times down to 1,000th of a second, but it must have been close. And yeah, John Allen bringing a late surprise. He was usually the car that was at the back of that massive train, and he's managed to get second place as a result in a last lap where we saw both leaders succumb to fuel mileage.
Yeah, crazy that really. Just got the numbers wrong. I think they were expecting to just not quite make it through, weren't they? But they both leaders were going to extend it one lap race, and it just all unfolded, and celebrations for Ford, fully deserved.
And that was all because it was such a fast pace out there that they crossed the line with 12 seconds to go, didn't they? So that was that extra lap that they didn't want. But again, yet another race and yet another week, Alex, where these finishes are just insane in both categories. It just seems to... It's like it's pro wrestling scripted almost. To be this good, you couldn't write it this well.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, really. Absolutely right. You couldn't. We've had some epic battles on the final lap, and that's just another one there as well. I fancy the leaders just both coming in, making it even more exciting. Suddenly we were keeping an eye on these battles for second and third, and yeah, they just all become for the race lead. So fantastic.
Unbelievable race, Adam, and you can tell us who's finished it.
Indeed I will. Kevin Ford then takes his first win since Monza, and that was quite a while ago indeed. And it is his third win of the season, adding to those at Monza and Sebring. Second for Mike Dam, Stephen Thomas finishing in third place. Fourth for Scott Kennedy, fifth Travis Davis, sixth Russell Ruddock, seventh place finish for Leon Wright, then Brandon Whitworth. Pasquale Iannucci finishing in ninth place after that late race dive for fuel, and Matthew Katila rounding up the top 10. 11th for Michael Ruddock, 12th Scott Brooks, 13th is Michael Monaghan, then into the Mazdas, and it is race victory for then it is Brian Holmes, the race winner there. John Allen just pipping Travis Svenke to second, and Rob Hartley in fourth. Aero Nom, even though he pitted for that last dash of fuel, he still managed to get a top 5 finish in his first of 2 races, filling in Fredka Sancinelli. Ryan Walker finishing in 6th, David Payton 7th, 8th for Geordie Fike, 9th Richard Losborough, 10th place finish for Jeff Jacobs, 11th Joe Boyd, 12th Chris Torman, 13th Mike Taylor, 14th Michael Key, Tom Rathjay 30 laps down, finishing in 28th place, the only retiree in this one, and a few incidents are going to be looked at after the race, and those are cars 37 and 42 and cars 61 and 98, so we'll wait and see if any of that happens, but I've got a feeling that any penalties for them will be applied in the team speak rather than in this session. So we are awaiting interviews. Woody, I do have the permissions, so we'll go in and get our race winner. Let's bring him up.
You might as well get them both,
because there was no way I could have done it with 2.
We've got our winners, our winner and our runner-up in the commentary box here at Apex Racing TV. We'll start off with Kevin Ford. You were able to stop Mike Dam, as I was saying to Woody, getting the sombrero, the 4 wins in a row here at Interlagos today.
Well, it had to happen at some point, but I certainly didn't think it would be me. What a great race tonight. That was quite the photo finish. I'm not sure what the distance was, but it was close enough that I was a little nervous coming to the line. But yeah, great race. It was just really a tough one. This track is so technical, and the tires just really fall off quick here. So a lot of patience and trying to save those tires for the end of the run.
Third win this season, and yeah, you just mentioned the tyres. It looks like that they all came at really tyre-dependent circuits. Sebring round 2, Monza round 6, and now round 10 at Interlagos. So yeah, things seem to go well for you at those kind of tracks.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I love these real windy, twisty courses. It just seems to play into my wheelhouse for some reason, but I'll take whatever I can get. So yeah, great run tonight. I didn't know if Mike and I were going to be able to catch Pat. It looked to me like he might have short fueled a little bit, a half a lap, according to my data. And so I thought if Mike and I could just keep pushing on and hopefully close that gap, and we were able to do it there at the end, and then it looked like he had to go in and get fuel. So but great race by Mike, hung in there with us. I mean, you know, as we knew he would. It was just tremendous job.
That last lap, what was it like for you there? Was it were you just looking out the back of the mirrors for that entire lap, or were you trying to focus in front as much as you could?
Trying to stay more focused ahead. I knew that Mike was good out of turn 12 coming up the hill, and I figured that would be his spot to get a run on me. So the rest of that last lap, or leading up to that point, was really just concentrating out the windshield and trying to do everything I could to close that gap on Pat, to get close enough to get a draft off of him. And miraculously, we were able to get up to him. And then obviously he had to pit, but that was unfortunate for Pat. But yeah, it was interesting. You know, it's easy to get caught up in that mirror with the driver behind you, but when you race with these guys every week, that trust factor is there. You learn some of the habits of the drivers and the strategies, and it just really played out to be a great finish.
Next week, then, Virginia International Raceway, back in the States, and a track that you probably know well.
Know it very well. It's actually one of my favorite tracks. Really looking forward to that one, and I think we're going to have another triple or quadruple battle there. That track seems to keep the fields a little bit tighter together, so we'll see how it plays out. But another great winding, twisty course. A lot of fast section. The uphill S's are always exciting there. Car gets thrown around a lot. You have to really hold on to it and make sure that you're hitting those entries just right to get those exits that you need. So it should be an exciting race next week.
Very well. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, just first I want to congratulate Mike Dam and Pat Iannucci for a great run tonight. It's always just a pleasure racing with those guys. And big thanks to my family for all their support. I know they're watching this evening. I do appreciate that. And of course, my wife, she's in there staring at the screen, probably a nervous wreck leading up to that last lap. But thanks to everybody, and thanks to you guys for an outstanding job on the broadcast. You guys do a wonderful job.
Well, we were a nervous wreck as well. I think well done on the win. Yeah, third win of the season, and hopefully we'll be seeing the fourth at Virginia International Raceway next week.
Thanks again, guys.
Right, Andrew Woodhouse is with our runner-up, Mike Dam.
Mike, what a fantastic finish again, and it seems like I could just put that statement on a recording and just play it back to you every week, so I don't have to say it, because it just seems to me that every time we talk, we're talking about a classic ending to the event.
Yeah, no, it was a really good race. I could tell I really ate up my tires trying to hold off Pat and Kevin at the start, and you could see they got by me there, and I was just struggling to hold on. So come the first pit stop, I actually switched my tire pressures up a PSI, and that seemed to help. So then, I don't know, Pat really made a short pit stop, and like I came out 10 seconds behind. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make that. But yeah, no, Kevin came out right behind me. It was a great race. We just tried to catch Pat, and then yeah, I didn't coming into the last lap, I didn't even expect to be fighting for the lead. So all of a sudden Pat ducks in, and it's me and Kevin, and it's like, okay, I got a shot at this.
Needed the finish line to be a couple of 100 yards further forward, I think, and you would have been, you'd have been in the money. But as it was second place overall, that does mean Kevin does close in a little bit in the Drivers' Championship, but still a lead of around 40 points, give or take. You must be happy with that going into the last two.
Yeah, it's a comfortable lead going into the last couple races. It's been a really fortunate season for me. I mean, I've had seasons where it probably hasn't been my fastest season, but it's been my most consistent season. I've had other seasons where I've blown engines and just had off tracks and contacts, and it's been a pretty clean season. So I'm pretty fortunate to have a season like that.
And just to repeat Adam's question, really, to Kevin, Virginia International next week. We know it's technical. We know it's difficult. Is it a track that you look forward to going to?
I do like it a lot. Yeah. It's not a track I have raced lots in the past, but it seems to fit my type of driving style, and it's a very interesting track. It's easy to be very interested in it. So. It should be a real good race there. Some long straights, fast speed corners, crests, dips. It'll be a roller coaster for sure.
The most difficult aspect of the circuit, because obviously there's, as you mentioned, lots of different challenges. But what would you say is the hardest thing to get right around there?
Either the last couple of downhill S's there at the end. That's a real tough part to get right. And also coming through those uphill S's and cresting that left-hander out on top of the crest there. That's real easy to get knocked off into the dirt there, and I've seen it plenty of times in tons of different series. So,
well, there's no runoff area there. It's just grass or gravel. If you if you do stray from the racing line at VIR, and then of course the series moves to Road Atlanta for the final round. So Mike, if you just want to give a thanks to anybody whoever you wish to, really. Yeah,
tonight I just want to give a shout out to Kevin. He was really fast tonight, and he definitely deserved that win. I almost stole it from him, but I could tell he was faster than me when we were catching Pat. He was holding me. I was holding him up. So I also want to heads up to Pat too. He really ran a good race. He was really good with his tires. I think he would have had it if he was like half a lap short on fuel, and that was it.
Well, half a lap, that meant the difference between potentially winning the race and ninth position. But you guys were the ones who you got the strategy right, and rewarded with the top two finish. Well done, Mike.
All right, thanks, guys.
Mike Dam then, and Adam Bath is with the Mazda winner in equally thrilling circumstances, Brian Holmes.
Got him in here. Brian Holmes. It's just coming up to 10 to 3 in the morning.
I thought you might have been asleep there, mate, to be fair.
Don't worry, I'm not Chris Kamara, I'm still here. Brian, it's 10 to 3 in the morning. We're all still awake here, and I think you more than us. So that was a fantastic finish, and you were able to get the win.
I didn't realise it was for the win. Didn't see her up it. I was too engaged in the battle that we was having, and didn't realise that Aero had paid.
Oh, it was all about that.
I thought it was second place going over the line.
Yeah, it was that run out of the final corner. It was that run out of the final corner, and it looked like you got it better than everyone else to get home first.
Yeah, I enjoy Interlagos. Great track. Really good car to race with in the Mazda. Side-by-side action all the time.
And Aero Nom making his debut in the series today, and until he had to pit to get that last bit of fuel in, it looked like he'd made quite an impressive debut.
Yeah, Aero's really quick in the car, really quick. I raced with him in another league that we do on a Saturday. But yeah, I think he really did under fuel. He tried slowing down for a couple of laps before the end to, gain a fuel back, but it didn't work out, and he had to make a pit stop, unfortunately. But yeah, he smashed it today.
It's only been your first win of the season. We've only got 2 races left, Virginia and Road Atlanta. Do you reckon Do you reckon you can try and get some more there before we get to the end of the season?
Virginia's not one that I know, but Road Atlanta, yeah, I really do like Road Atlanta.
Very well. Before we let you go tonight, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, just to Kevin and the guys that run the Extreme Championship, all the sponsors that go along with it, and of course the guys that we race with, and you guys for commentary.
Brilliant. Well done on the win, your first win of the season, and a brilliant drive as well to get there. And thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us.
Bedtime now.
It is.
Right. Yeah, Brian Holmes there. And Alex Simpson, you back?
I'm back.
We've got one interview left, and I think we'll hand it over to you. You with John Allen.
Yeah. Hi, John. Welcome to the booth.
Hey guys, it's been too long.
Yeah. Just tell us a little bit about your race today. It looked like you had an opportunity for a win, and you just got a poor exit at the final corner. And you're having more to defend rather than attack on that last straight.
Yeah, if I had the good fortune to get clear of Travis and take the proper apex on that final right hairpin, I might have been close enough to chase Brian down at the line, but we were still fighting that out, and thankfully the inside of that long left, cleared me on him, and then I just tried made up for it by eating too much of the curb on that final turn, so I had to let it settle before getting back to gas. I don't think I would have got him anyway, honestly. That gap he had was sufficient, but it was fun getting into turn 1 for the last lap in P4 and finding a way through.
It looked like a great battle out there today. I mean, that pack was so close, ebbing and flowing all over the place, really, the whole race. Obviously, new people in the car as well, showing them what they can do, just going to make this series even more competitive. We talked about Interlagos during the race, one of the better tracks for sort of side-by-side battling. What's your take on that?
Yeah, fully agree. I mean, there's endless places where there's plenty of room on the track, and there's even multiple lines that you can take through a couple of the corners that by the time you get to the next corner wind up being the same, even though they look totally different on the way through. So time-wise, they even out. It's just preference. Car setup too. I mean, I was awful in the last entering the infield, the first 2 turns there, dipping into the bowl, and I would always lose time, but close enough usually to keep it back into turn 1 and hold the draft.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's just talk about next week for a moment. How are you looking forward to that one? And does today's result give you a chance to, push back and try and see if you can nick the win next week?
That'd be great. VIR was a favorite on the sim anyway, and that's why when I started getting out on the track this year, do the real thing, it was where I chose to debut in SCCA, so it's now especially near and dear to my heart. So absolutely, I'll try and bring that full circle. Although on the real life side, I must say the NASA racing this year, which is multi-class, gave back a little bit to the sim. It used to be the sim prepared me for that. This time around, gave me the patience to let traffic thin out tonight, and I just knew that if I lost the draft the way the Mustangs were coming, I'd probably get it back. So I was very patient and had the tires left at the end to make a couple moves there in the final lap.
Nice. Well, before we let you go, the usual. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to? Any messages?
Well, it may have been a while since I'm here, but that hasn't changed. It's still a great series run by some great people, and no doubt they've been named before, Kevin and Jeff and TD for sponsorship on down the line. And love watching these things back later in the week too. You guys put on a great show and take it to another level. So always appreciate that. Like having you on board.
Awesome stuff. Thanks very much, John, and we'll catch you at VIR, and all the best of luck there.
Cheers, evening, guys.
All right then. Well, that just about concludes tonight's action from the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. And Adam, once again, absolutely outstanding race.
We saw in the BSR MX-5 series last week how the Mazda would fare around here, and the Mustang as well. It was just relentless. That was probably one of the quickest hours that we've had all season. There was a battle everywhere, and This, along with the World GT Series that we had today at Watkins Glen, has provided off a brilliant evening of sports car racing here on the Apex Racing TV channel.
Absolutely fantastic. And Alex, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be us done for the week, isn't it?
Until V8's on Saturday?
V8's on Saturday.
Until Saturday, yeah. So we get a few days off, which is always good. But
well, if you have withdrawal symptoms, you can go back and watch the VSRTC finale at Daytona from last Thursday.
And of course, I will be uploading the onboard footage from the Pro Series race for myself, Michael Dinkle, which is worth a watch, and Ferenc Kern as well. That'll be hitting sometime tomorrow, I would think.
Great stuff. All right. Well, thank you very much, boys, once again for joining me for the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, and Alex for providing the camera work at nearly 3 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, fantastic stuff. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time here on Apex Racing TV. Good night.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.